We reached a goal in my business this year that I've had on my list for the longest time. And when we reached it, it wasn't quite what I expected. And today's episode is all about making sure you enjoy the journey and not just the destination. Hello, it's Emma Mills here and welcome to episode 193 of MiTV, which today is a completely personal story about reaching a revenue target that I've had in my mind for the longest time. And I do like setting goals. I mean, I did an episode a couple of weeks ago about goals that I set which were completely unachievable to reach because I didn't have the plan behind it. But this particular goal that I've had in my mind was a revenue figure that I wanted my business to turn over. And I mean, I know all the things of like turnover is vanity, profit is sanity. I know all of that, but I had this particular figure in my mind since 2008 that when we hit it, it'll feel like a real business. We'll be on our way. Things will slot into place. A lot of it was like validation to myself that I could do it. I could grow a business that does it. So just to clarify, I've had this figure since 2008. In July 2022, we hit this figure. So I know I'm an overnight 14-year success. So hit this figure, and I like to set goals. Not all of them are achievable. I did an episode a couple of weeks ago about having goals that were completely unachievable because I had no real plan behind them. But this particular revenue figure was like, it held a lot of connotations to me that I would feel like I've done it. I've achieved this thing. So much so that in summer of COVID, I actually saw another girl do this on Instagram, and we had a couple of bottles of champagne, like nice ones that had been given as presents and things over the years. And I opened the boxes of these champagnes that were hanging around, never drank, 'cause it's like those kind of drinks that you don't want to drink until it's a special occasion. So I opened the champagne bottle like they were in a box, and I wrote on a piece of paper, August 2020, MiPA revenue target of this. I'm gonna drink this champagne. So put them back in their places. So that, like, one of them's got, when I've got a handheld copy of my the book in my hand that I'm gonna write. There's like other goals and things that I want to achieve that are a bit like milestones for me in my life. And I've put these little bits of paper in the champagne. Quite a nice idea, right? To go, oh, we've done that. I can celebrate with this. So 2 years ago, wrote it on a scrap of paper out of a Snoopy diary. Put it in the box, and so in July this year we hit this target. Now today's episode is about, it gave me a lot of realizations of the day-to-day. So just my second part of this story is, over the past couple of months, you know, when people say, how's business, how's things going? Oh yeah, it's busy. But I will often say it just feels like a lot at the moment. It feels like there's a lot of things to sort, to push on to the next level, feel a bit overwhelming. And if I'm like, I won't have this in general conversation, but like, if I'm really honest, a lot of the days I'm like, oh God, that was tough. Like, I'm not loving the journey, not loving the process over the past couple of months. So I'm very aware that I've hit this target. 2, I'm also kind of, well, I've hit this target, but the day-to-day just feels a bit more of a grind. Got to get through to the next stage, then things are going to be better. So I was doing the invoicing, and you can imagine this like figure's creeping closer. I'm like, I'm doing the invoicing, it's happening. And I was literally £150 off. I'm like showing my boyfriend John, I was like, we're nearly there. So we did it, and then we got past this figure. So I was like, okay, first thing I'm gonna do was open the champagne. And and it's weird because it's not just like, you know, it's not like absolutely party time, because it's kind of, I've just been sending out some invoices, and then we've like hit this figure. And that night, so I had a glass of this champagne. I'll honestly say we definitely kept it too long. It wasn't the right champagne to drink it with, because it actually wasn't my taste. It was like quite old now. However, I digress. So I did take a moment that evening to go like, wow, I've actually thought about this for 14 years and we've done it tonight. So that was awesome. But there's an element of, and I'm sure like lots of you have heard stories about people that buy nice cars and do nice things, and when you actually get it, when you actually do it, my immediate thing the next day, I'm sure as you can guess, is, okay, how do I get to the next? Like my immediate thing, I'm not basking in the glory of what I've just done. I'm like, how do I get to the next bit? And I've completely left that bit behind now. I'm like, well, how do I do this amount and how do we do that and what will it take to get to that? That's like where my immediate mind goes, which I'm sure, you know, we're all guilty of. So I became very aware in the moments over the following few days that there is never going to be an ultimate champagne cork popping moment that is the ultimate of all goals. Because I've had this one and it was great and it was really nice to like just reflect on everything that's happened over the past 14 years, look forward to like what I want to do next. But I'm very aware that it's actually all of these, like me sat here today recording this content, you know, tomorrow having meetings with the team about the week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I'm on a business course this week. It's all of the days leading up to the goals that are the things you really need to think about in terms of enjoying the day to day. Like I can definitely be guilty of, I'm just looking over there, and when you get there, it's like, well, I'm going to do a new thing in the horizon, and it never ever stops. I listen to a coach every single day in an app, Brendan Burchard, and one of his main like strap lines, catchphrases is honor the struggle. And what that ultimately means is you have to just honor and enjoy the day-to-day, in that all of these things that I've been saying to people, it feels overwhelming, it feels like there's a lot to do. Like these are the days that make you better and make your business improve. And these are the things you need to be really present at, and being aware that you're enjoying that process too. Like I want this episode to be about somebody having plans, having goals, but also fully like being present, enjoying the journey, being in the moment, because these are the days where it's all happening. You know, it can be really easy to struggle, goal. And then when you get to the goal, the feeling of it does not last forever. It's not short-lived, but it's like you're immediately going to go on to the next phase. It is the day-to-day that I need to be way more present of and enjoying, because I'm not going to get these days back. And I was at I go to a networking dinner in Essex. It's awesome. I go there every month at the beginning of the month. And there's a guy there who sold his business. And this is the second time he's sold his business. And he is in a position now where he doesn't have to work. Him and his wife can go shopping, go on holiday, do what they like. He can buy nice watches. He's do all the material things, but most importantly, he's got freedom of his time. And I said to him, what is it like now that you have sold your business? Is it really awesome? And he's like, do you know what, actually? Like now we've done it, like obviously it's a massive achievement. I'm proud of myself. I know I've got financial freedom for me and my family. But he went, the things that you expect, like the fact that he could go and buy a nice watch, he's like, I'm actually just not that fussed about doing it. He's wearing a Casio. Like the whole hype and excitement actually came from the journey that was him growing his business to be able to sell it. Like he said, the one thing he misses now is having that business around him, that he was like the next deal, the next exciting thing, the next problem, the people around him looking for advice and taking them on to the next level, like that whole journey around it. He said, actually, there's an element of his life now where he's like, wow, I've got so much spare time and free time. I'm not entirely sure what to do with it all, but he really, really misses, even though he's now done what a lot of people want to do, he really misses now just being back in the thick of it, back in the like, what's going to happen next? Oh, I've just had this new deal. I've just spoke to this new customer. Oh, we're just trying this and this is working well. Oh God, there's a crisis here. I really need to sort this out. Like he actually misses being back in the throes of it. And while he's done really, really amazing thing, his advice to me was that one day you're going to actually go, oh, do you remember when we did that? Do you remember when we achieved that? Or do you remember when this happened in the office? And it really, really hit home with me that actually I want to be enjoying this journey that me and my team are on together, and not just like pinballing from one kind of like getting through the day to another. So really long MiTV today. I hope you've enjoyed the story. But today's MiTV is about, if you are feeling like everything's going to be okay when you have achieved a certain thing, or you're going to feel like validated or happy, or when you've bought this or done that, I definitely need the goals to move towards, but don't let that be at the detriment of like actually what you're in right now is a really amazing part of your life that you're going to look back on and probably at some point wish you were back there. So I hope this makes you just a little bit more present today to think about how can you enjoy like maybe challenging meetings with your team more. How can you bring more joy to that? How can you enjoy problems that are inevitably going to drop onto your desk, questions that you're going to need to solve, and just to being a bit more like, well, we can do this and be stressed, or we can do this and actually have a really good time doing it as well. So I hope this helps you to get your head out of the dirt and into the clouds, and I will see you next week for episode 194. See you then, bye-bye.